The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Oh, Sunset City. Hi, welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Sunset City. It's a Shovel Knight podcast for the Shovel and the Knight Age. Over on the far end, we have Channel Pup.
Hey.
And then next to him, we have our corpse halfway back from the dead, Nick. Yeah, that sounds about right. Over mocking his misery, we have Suris the Skeptic.
As always.
And I'm Wayne. I'm weirdly energetic today. So, how are we feeling today, gentlemen?
Well, I'm very glad we're on our 75th episode of Shovel Knight and Friends.
I just thought it'd be really funny if I just didn't say anything.
Is this really episode 75? Holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're three-quarters of the way until the end.
And
we get to our stated goal.
We just end it at episode 99 and just leave it there.
What do we do on episode 100? Do we just like eat each other's faces?
We're one step closer to the end.
Let's see.
We're about to break.
We've already done the hottest Sonic characters. I don't know where you really go from there. Like
to space, I guess.
Yeah, Sonic Adventure retrospective, baby.
Nah, we're not going to do that ever.
You're right. Sonic 3D Blast retrospective, baby.
No, we're just gonna skip straight to Sonic Adventure 2.
I'm actually okay with doing a 3D Blast retrospective.
Oh, gee.
I don't hate that game.
Oh, jeepers creepers.
Fun one to talk about.
That reminds me, I gotta get those games fucking reviewed. I don't know if I want to do Unleash first or 3D Blast first. I think I might do the boost games.
It's
Dude,
funny.
you and I take. Actually, we're both at a point now where we can do 3D Blast. I say we tag team.
It's funny since
Why? I don't want you to touch me.
Don't fear me. I'm gentle.
Since
First time.
Since Nick's been a sickie, I think completed 4 Sonic games back to back. Like, it started with Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I finally, all by myself for the first time, unlocked Hypersonic. Quite a big deal for me. I'm a fraud, okay? I just want to point that out. I completed Sonic Unleashed. I completed Sonic Adventure 1 just yesterday. This time, actually playing the other stories instead of just save stating to the final story. And, yeah, I like it. It's a good game, you know? Yeah, you know how it is. Oh, and also Generations.
If it makes you feel any better, Pup, when I reviewed 3 Knuckles was the first time that I actually went out of my way to get Hyper Knuckles as well.
You know
or
what
not
happened?
Hyper Knuckles, Hypersonic, sorry.
You know what used to happen? Is it used to be like, man, collecting the Chaos Emeralds is like, it's not something I always bother with. But like, I was like, I have to collect 12 of these? No, not even that, 14? Fuck that. I'm not even gonna try. But this time, I had a realization of like, oh, okay, I can just complete the game as regular Sonic, then just go back to Angel Island a bunch of times and do the special stages there. Yeah, no, it should have been
That's what I
obvious.
did as a kid. That's
Yeah.
what I did as a kid. That's how I learned to master it.
I felt so devious though. I was like, I am cheesing the system.
It doesn't. Whatever, dude. Like, who cares? Like, if you're having fun, that's what matters. Like, that's how I figured it out. And I had to re-rent the same single copy of Sonic 3 from Action Video in Muscatine, Iowa. 3 weekends in a row.
Wow.
Yeah, play the game the way you fucking want. I'm just, you know what I mean?
The funny thing with Adventure was I learned a lot about that game. Because, like, it used to be, like, I'd load it up, I'd play Sonic's story, Tails' story, and the rest I'd dabble, but then eventually I'd just be like, nah, I'm just going to go straight to the final story, which I know a lot of people would recommend. But this time, I gotta admit, there was none of it that I didn't at least like. But at the same time, the jankiness of that game started to wear off on me after a while. Like, I got to a point where I was just, like, on the final part of the, like, last story I needed to do to unlock the Supersonic, where I was just like, can this game for 1 second not just be held together by sticks and chewing gum? Like...
Yeah, it's like, I do think it's a part of the game's charm, but at the same time, it's also just like, yeah, you can't deny that it's a little aged.
Every time I had to go to the fucking jungle in Mystic Ruins, where the slightest change in terrain slows you down, and it also just looks like a piece of shit as well. It's really hard to navigate.
I have a hard time disliking Mystic Ruins. I thought all that shit looked super pretty when it first came out.
Mystic Ruins. I just didn't like the
Mystic Ruins.
I just didn't like the jungle area because I just don't know what the fuck is happening.
I got myself lost in that place for hours on purpose when I was a kid.
Yeah, I did too.
Around it.
I did too, because it was just
everything looks the same. It's all just a blob.
It's different going into that generation as opposed to looking backwards. Like that was just. Wow, video games can do this back then.
Yeah, I need to learn to understand these things.
Yeah, we really should learn. We really should do a Sonic Adventure 1 retrospective at some point. That said, we actually do have a couple of topics aside for today. One of which we were going to be talking about last week, and we just weren't quite able to get to it.
But before that, we should probably get some of our super chats all caught up with and go from there.
I agree.
Is it
have
cold
a few
today?
people.
Nick, are you cold?
It is cold today. Yeah, I woke up freezing, dude.
Yeah,
I woke up
freaking
deathly
cold, man.
Yeah. Sweater day, baby.
Yes, I've been waiting for this weather, you know?
You guys should cuddle and keep each other warm.
No, it drives me crazy.
and then Pup will get COVID.
No, he's not
wonder
contagious.
if I'm I wonder if I'm in the infectious stage or not.
There's
still.
no way you're still infectious, man.
It's only been a week.
The only thing infectious about you is your little personality you got there, buddy.
Oh, they're already flirting.
No, here's what drives me crazy about Pup. Like, every time I'm, like, hobbling through the kitchen or something, I hear the fucking rings of Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, the only thing coming out of his room. And I keep telling him, there's a whole goddamn room full of all these various video games. Just play something.
Okay, so you're all like...
Shovel Knight.
You're all like... Oh, jeez, Pup, I don't want to give you no COVID. And then you're just like, play my video game collection. I might have sneezed on it or something. It's got all my joyums and my foibles all over it. I got my particles in those boxes. Also, I feel like I need to ask, and you're not around because you're in bed.
Have you ever considered sending him a message?
Yes, but he's very
Technology.
sleepy. I don't want to disturb him because he's resting up.
I thought
and
Nick
getting
was the
better.
old man.
He's already disturbed. Have you seen him?
He's actually, I do appreciate, Pup's been a very, very good house guest this week, and I've, like, if you guys have not noticed me on social media, that's because I did not want to speak with anybody.
Yeah, I've just been tucking myself around the past couple of, however long this has been. I've lost my concept of time. Been hanging out with Ghost too much, but hey, Ghost knows how it is.
He really does say that. He says it all the fucking time. I was in just the game room, and Ghost wandered out to greet him, and like, oh hell yeah, you know how it is.
you ain't kidding.
You ain't kidding.
It's the kind of thing I say to dogs, man. You know, you just gotta validate them.
The dog doesn't know what you're fucking saying.
Yeah, but he likes it.
This is true.
You ain't fucking kidding, Pup.
Yeah, hey, hell yeah, you ain't kidding, Wayne.
I just look to my left and I see Growlithe is just splayed out on my carpet. Like, oh yeah, dogs are great.
Oh, well, sorry for all the coffee noises, guys.
I'm looking forward to meeting Growlithe.
You're fine. You're fine.
We'll edit them out in post, which is a thing we definitely do.
We're not doing that.
I'm so excited to meet your dogs, Suris. I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, you ain't kidding, and then they're gonna be like, hell yeah, I ain't kidding, bud. Oh yeah,
Christ.
That's another thing is I sometimes talk back for the dogs as well. It's brilliant. It's real fun. I have fun with these dogs.
Yeah.
I'll read the goddamn super chat.
What super chat?
We're starting at that Jordo.
Have you put a burger next to it so I can find it?
I separated them out with arrows to make them very easy to identify, but sure, you know
hell
what?
Yeah,
Here.
you sure did. You ain't kidding. All right.
Burger. Hey, there you go, Linda. I gotta put a burger next to the. I put a burger next to the super chat so you can read it.
Nobody.
All right,
Bobby. Or kisses, Bobby.
Jade,
I'm not Jade,
read the super chat.
I'm Linda. All right.
Mine
so
jumped head first into a blender.
that Jordo sent $2 last week on Wednesday, saying, "Pingus." Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh my god.
We all love a good pingus.
All right, Sony
Jesus.
with 5 maple leaves. Instead of talking about Sonic, how about talking about Zavik and the Zeddy? Big brain plays here. Hashtag ready for Zeddy. Hashtag Zavik Zweep.
I don't know how he does. He always gets in first.
I don't know. He keeps giving us money so I can tell him no. That's...
It's somebody's kink, I'm sure.
Well, thank you, Sony.
The next one we have here is from Forbid Object 5 for €10. Hey, Mike here. I am, of course, definitely, actually offended. I've tweeted you a document on my account, Juicy Mike 3, and I'd appreciate if you read it.
Wait, this is
Fuck
the...
you, Mike.
Is this the original Mike?
So
that's
I'll say
original,
this.
Are you the original?
I actually have read the document.
Will the real Mike please stand up?
It was an actual dot for what? What's it say?
Do you really want me to read it?
So this is the Mike we fucking hated. And all
can-
this
I-
time
I-
I
we-
thought
we
it
can
was
do
the
this
other
in-
one.
You know what? This will be the
We can
conclusion.
hate both of them, it's okay.
This will be a conclusion to an arc. I will. It's a 1-page document. Are you okay with me reading this?
Oh yeah, go on. I want to hear this. This is gonna
Okay.
be-
Okay.
Give us what
sure.
you got, Mike. Try me, bro.
All right. Dear Sunset City, I'm back this one time to end it all. The goal of this document is to come to some sort of conclusion of this situation and explain my absence. After realizing that the so-called Sunset City Council was just 3 key con artists on a train, and the clarification that the hate I've been receiving is specifically targeted to me, I quickly realized that the Sunset City Council, with a whole bunch of other words at the end of it, don't know what those are, the political party, was an impractical and drastic way to target a small hate group that was specifically going against me. And I don't even like politics, so it doesn't fit my character. Also, you dicks can't even remember which Mike you hate. This is comical. At least get it right. Then I went silent and started planning a rebuttal, or at least a peace treaty. I was thinking for a long time, while listening to illegal downloads of the podcast I could scrape off the internet since I was banned, until it finally hit me, the thing that changes people the most. Money. It was constantly mentioned in the podcasts, like a clue in plain sight. I knew this was it. Nothing else could work. This was my last chance. It isn't perfect. I certainly cannot match some of the extremely generous donations in the past, but it's worth a shot. Sunset City folks, I am offering you a choice. Either leave our disagreements in the past and bury the hatchet, accept the past for what it is and allow me to slip back into my previous way of life as a common Sunset City viewer, rid my life as a convict, an outlier, and clear my name to the other podcast viewers, to an indifferent opinion of me. Or continue this truthfully unjustified hatred. I have come to terms that this isn't the worst fate of a Mike ever, and that I can accept your rage against all I stand for. I'll understand that your lawfully unproven accusations are just over-exaggerated comments to express the fury inside you. I can continue to live a functional life in this state.
This is amazing.
No matter the outcome, I appreciate the time taken to read my perspective on the situation. I understand this is an overly long time to spend on a 10-lick donation. But I hope you understand that this is my last chance to get through to you, a plea for my freedom. I will not bother you anymore after this document. Looking forward to a reply, Mike.
All
Fuck
in
you, Mike.
favor... No,
Yeah, fuck off, Mike.
Well, I was gonna
And then, of
say.
course, there's this image at the end in the
Okay.
back rooms.
Okay, let's have a look. No, let's do this. Let's do this seriously. All in favor of acquitting Mike, say aye. Yeah, exactly. Fuck you, Mike.
Fuck you, Mike.
Fucking Mike.
That was fucking great, though. Thanks for that.
Oh,
That
Thank
was
you so
amazing.
much for the €10, man. And fuck
Stay
you.
in prison.
Yeah, get out of here. Get it. I hate you.
We have 50 more viewers than we did at the start of that fucking letter.
Yep.
Don't you see, Mike? Every time you try and fight back, we only get more powerful.
Wayne.
Yeah, okay, so the next one we have is Xavier Fortin with 2.79 Maple Leaves. Happy Venus Day, Gilly.
You know, I've always wanted to read a Xavier super chat just so I could be like, it's Xavier farting.
Read the last goddamn super chat. Come on.
I hate my life. I just want to have a good game. All right. Xanderoni sends $5. I'm biased due to Critical Role, but how did you guys like Travis Willingham as Knuckles? Was Travis Willingham the Boom voice?
No.
No, he was the one in the...
Yeah.
Tails Tube.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think he was in Sonic Team Racing. I don't remember.
Yeah, he was. We were gonna actually talk a little about that. In the next... Shall we use this as our segue to go into Knuckles Tube?
That seems like a good way to do it.
All right. Yeah, I liked it.
I
didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. It just sounded like he was trying to do a tough man voice. Does that make sense?
It sounded kind of forced, and even like the pitch didn't sound natural.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad, but it wasn't.
Travis wasn't Boom. I like Travis and Boom.
Yeah, that's what
Travis was not in. No, it's not the same voice. This is not Boom Knuckles. Who voiced him in Boom?
Well, they're saying that Travis was.
Travis was the voice for Knuckles and Boom.
I think we
just
might
did
have
it
him
differently for this.
Are we?
Yeah, we haven't swapped around.
Team
Travis was the voice in Boom.
Racing
Okay.
Knuckles voice. There's no way. No, Dave
And
B.
then
Mitchell. Dave B. Mitchell is the new Knuckles. He's the one that
Yeah,
was imposed to.
nobody's disagreeing with you, Pup.
So we're just talking about the one from Boom,
Yes.
which was my initial question.
Yeah, because I when I saw Travis Willing, my brain was like, "Is that the new Knuckles?"
Oh, okay. I was confused. I thought we were talking about the one from the Tails Tube.
fucking one from Boom.
Well, that's
I
what
thought
the
we were
question is.
yeah.
Travis Willingham is the one from Boom. Dave B. Mitchell is the new Knuckles.
Okay, so Travis Willingham Knuckles is fine.
Yeah,
He's
I
fine.
enjoyed Travis.
Okay,
Willingham
yeah.
a lot.
No, I like Travis's Knuckles then, because like in Boom he sounds good. It's the Tails Tube one that I think doesn't sound great.
I'm gonna give a hot take on the Tails Tube one. I like it. I think it sounds the closest we've had to Adventure Knuckles in a good long while. And I kind of like it from that perspective. At this point...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, at this point going forward, I kind of just view Idris Elba's Knuckles voice as like the new blueprint. I kind of want to hear more Knuckles sounding like him, but I do like this new Knuckles just fine.
I don't think I've enjoyed Knuckles as a voice outside of Dan Green and Travis's take on Boom Knuckles. I don't really think Adventure Knuckles is as. I think more. I don't think it's good. He sounds.
I think I like Dan Green's Knuckles the most, and that's.
I do too.
That's totally not my bias as a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Also liking Dan Green's Yugi.
He's just like, well, no, he's just got the experience, right? He's got the anime Yelly experience, like down to a fucking science at this point. So it worked really good for Knuckles. I thought Idris was good in the movie. I don't know if I need him as a regular, but I feel like a lot of the Knuckles that we get recently are just trying too hard to be too gruff. Like there's no teenager left in there. It's like
That's the impression I've been getting.
See,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna,
they are
2003
rougher than the rest
Raphael.
of them.
at risk of
it's 2003
sounding
Raphael. I don't want that. I want 2012 Raphael.
at risk of
where it
sounding
still sounds
contrarian. I find Dan Green.
Oh, what,
gives-
you?
Shut up! I find Dan Green does. I find him a little too gruff in the role. He did Sonic
I don't
X,
blame
didn't he?
you. Yeah, I don't blame you.
I mean, that might be
'cause
because I do not have as many anime sensibilities as you guys. I just watched normal cartoons as a kid, but like, yeah, I'm a fart brain. I know.
you know, it could be just we could just get Brian Drummond back as the fucking Weasley voice Knuckles from Underground.
Wait a minute. Oh, what if
Hmm.
Hmm.
What if what?
You just gonna leave it at that?
Use your words, bud.
Brian
You got
Drummond,
this.
right? He's the
Brian
one that's
Drummond.
in Sonic Prime, right?
Correct.
What if he's
Yeah.
voicing Knuckles in that, and he's just the high voice Knuckles?
We
We already know he's Eggman.
No, he's not. He's Knuckles.
Well,
Shut up.
hang on, because we didn't get to that point yesterday, and you said that before. How do you know that's Knuckles? Or sorry, Eggman.
So the stuff that I was looking up said that he was the one who was prizing the roles of Knuckles. I can look it up again real quick, or as Eggman. Hold on.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you
and
could
that
send that
thing
over.
you watched earlier was the opening cutscene of Sonic Frontiers. You silly Suris.
Uh,
He would be a great Eggman. But yeah, as far as let's talk about the Knuckles tube in general. I do think is another Dan
Yeah, it's
taking this role?
Dave Mitchell, I think.
Oh, Dave. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if this like one of Dave's first roles, I'm sure he'll, naturally make the voice a little more his own as it goes on. I think
I
it's
like
fine
how
for
he's-
what it is.
I like how he's written.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah,
think he's written
that's.
really well.
I think my favorite line out of there was him talking about the Master Emerald, where he's just like, "I protect it. I don't use it. Like that's not my place."
Yeah.
Well, see,
I
I,
He has a
really
certain.
liked it.
I just like the bit where like Tails like, "We're gonna do the Sonic Scoop where we talk about Sonic," and he's like, "Oh, no thanks. I don't want to talk about Sonic." Like I liked his delivery there. Like it felt he just felt very indignant in like a good way, but he didn't feel like he was overplayed.
I kind of
Okay.
felt that way about him with The Rock, where he's like, "Look what I can make it do," and just
Silly
starts smashing
Wayne,
them.
The Rock didn't play Knuckles. Fuck's sake.
So, okay, the Brian Drummond thing was apparently on a fan website and was not actually confirmed.
Well,
The
what
only
do
thing that we
you
can
know?
see-
What
the only thing we
do
can see
you
right now-
know?
Shut up, Pup. Let
Shut
him
the
finish.
fuck up, Pup. Jesus fucking Christ. The only thing we know so far where Brian Drummond is concerned is that he's slated to voice unknown character number 3, whatever that means. And that's on behind the voice actor. It literally says, like, it just has him voicing unknown character number 3 and behind the voice actor.
Well, you know who was a character in number 3 was Knuckles.
Knuckles, yeah.
He could be unknown character number 3 in Knuckles.
Oh.
Oh Lord.
It's
Well,
just gonna be the Sonic Underground universe.
It would be so funny if everyone's just
Unknown
like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait for them to bring back the Son of Him cast," and then they just fucking bring back Sonya and Manic and Dingo and all that crap.
Unknown character number 3 is just Manic.
And then it's just like Sonic just desperately trying to leave.
And then he just has this really off-model animation where Knuckles is tiny. I want to see tiny Knuckles return.
I just like ugh. Anyway. Yeah, so the Tales tube, I think the point of all of them has just been kind of realigning the lore and getting everybody back into a reasonable place to kick off from. So like we now have one world thanks to this. We know humans and little critter people live on that same planet, and they're kind of and they reestablish Eggman and Robotnik. Like both names exist, both are canon. And this time, it was a little bit safer for anybody who's been in the Sonic community for way too long. But it has been a while since the game stuff has recognized that Knuckles is guardian of the Master Emerald and Angel Island. And that's all it really did here was reestablish that he is takes his job very seriously. They explained why the Master Emerald isn't better utilized, and I think this does kind of confirm that super forms outside of Mecha Sonic are not canon to in terms of Master Emerald use.
I was gonna say actually, yeah, like it's kind of like weird that at no point did they mention that they have wielded the power of the Master Emerald before. Like with Tails, like, "Oh, don't you want to explore its secrets?" Like, you have, you fucking pussy. But yeah, no.
So
I do like just the amount of like reverence that Knuckles seems to showcase like for the Master Emerald, where it's something that it's not, because I got the I almost got the impression like Sonic Adventure 1 that it was, he has this almost sense of confusion where he's not entirely sure why he's there to take care of this thing. It's just the only purpose he seems to have, and that's why he feels so strongly about it. Versus this is like, it's almost like the more time that he spent there, maybe exploring his own island and everything, he's come to a deeper understanding of the importance of the Master Emerald, especially after the events of like Adventure and Three Knuckles. This is an important artifact. It's incredibly dangerous when utilized the wrong way, and that's why I had to take my job seriously. Like, look what happened at Station Square.
Right. Yeah, I agree completely.
Well, all's well that ends well, right?
You do kind of wish that Adventure did a better job kind of bringing him to that kind of a conclusion like they did with Tails and Amy, doing a decent job kind of giving them an arc. I really felt that Knuckles like had the most on the line there because they had so much of the Master Emerald in that story, and then they didn't really wrap up his tale in a very satisfying way. But like I'm with you, Wayne. As far as that's concerned, I do think I don't know. He still probably has some of his doubts, some of his confusion, and some of his mysteries that he does eke on. But like as far as what he's going to tell Tails, yeah, he's not going to let anybody touch that thing.
Tails has poor judgment, man.
I'm wondering if eventually they're going to have like Knuckles get another person. Like I'm sure they'll probably never do this because they keep the characters in like well-established roles now. But I wonder if they're going to eventually be like, hey, for us to be able to play with Knuckles a little bit more in the story, we're going to go ahead and have him have another character, maybe even like re-recruiting Chaos Zero or something, so that when he's away, something like the Master Emerald, the Angel Island incident of IDW doesn't happen again.
They do need to figure that particular plot hole out. And I know Ian's been asked about it constantly, and he's requested Sega let him do things like that. But as far as Sega's concerned, Knuckles is the only one who trusts Knuckles. Like, he does not trust anybody else to watch the Master Emerald at all, which goes against, his excursions away from Angel Island. But yeah, I kind of wish they would do something to excuse why he would be away from the Emerald.
Yeah,
and I mean, to be fair, it's not like he's that big of a. He can only do so much, especially if Eggman went full force on Angel Island. Like, we've seen what happens there.
That's always something I found
so they
funny.
need to come up with something.
It is interesting to think that like what happened in Three Knuckles kind of instilled some trust issues in him.
I mean, yeah.
Where like that's the reason he really kind of feels like he can't trust anybody else with it, because it's like, who can he trust? Like, he thought he had shit figured out in that game, and then
That's
At the same time, though. Go ahead, Pup. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say something I find kind of funny, though, was how they kind of passed off, like, he just helps out when the team can't, win the fight themselves. Dude, you were the fucking general during Sonic Forces. You really dived into that one, huh?
I mean, to be fair, everything was at stake and at risk there. And Eggman, who controls the entire world, can launch an assault on all sides on Angel Island, as opposed to just, like, the Egg Fleet coming from one or two directions.
I mean, you'd still think protecting the giant Master Emerald from all that would be kind of important.
Yeah,
well, that was what he was doing by proxy, essentially.
Yeah.
And we don't know if Angel Island was taken over or not.
Also, Sonic Forces never made any fucking sense. No use trying to rationalize it now.
You could do more with
it.
We
can give it a little bit of a benefit of a doubt in some areas.
Yeah.
All things considered, like, whether or not we can rationalize the Sonic Forces story in a meaningful way, Ian Flynn has been taking that story and using that as literally the foundation of the entire comics universe.
True.
Like, that's where it kicks off from. So, like, whether or not we can rationalize it, there are writers who are like, this is our foundation, this is where we're starting from, this is what we're doing. And I mean, if they can do that, we can work within those confines too.
Like, he has made excellent use of that. Imagine having that as your starting point. Like, for him to have made this comic that makes any sense and has any meaning is a feat. But like, the fact it's as good as it is as well is like, wow.
It's not the last time Ian Flynn had to fix somebody's bad writing.
I kind of look at it in a similar way that I look at like the Clone Wars animated series, where it's like it didn't exactly have a whole lot to work off of on its foundation outside of like maybe some vague world building, but it took the elements that did work and then it it really ran with those, and it made something really special out of it. And that's kind of how I see IDW.
Talking about Gendy Tartakovsky's or the new one?
The newer one, like the actual like series.
The full series.
Yeah, Gendy's are fun, but they're there's not a lot of meat there, to be perfectly honest. I think they're enjoyable, but they are also just a little. They're more action centric than universe centric, I guess, if
Right.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I love. Yeah, I love them. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I especially enjoy, like, they made Grievous like an actual threat, but so did the Clone Wars series, and I think to a more effective degree. But IDW Sonic, yeah, sorry, was my main point. Was like, how can we take maybe something that a lot of fans felt very mixed on, to put it generously, and then use that as a foundation to make something better. I think that's always the opportunity, and it's why I never particularly like the idea of erasing something from canon just because people didn't like it. No, take what worked from that and build a better foundation out of it. I think that there's more potential there than there is in just like starting from scratch, and that just gets annoying.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I feel like the ideal situation would be if they could, like, somewhere down the line have like some form of flashback to the events of Forces, but it's displayed in a way that is like makes more sense. Like, they could just have like a flashback, and then you see like animals and humans in that world or whatever fighting alongside each other, or just something, just
Yeah,
something to.
I wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't mind seeing like a story get halfway through in the Sonic series, and then just like Gun has to come in at one point because they're like, okay, this is getting out of hand. This is starting to spill into our territories. And like, oh, okay, now we have the actual context, not just from Tales 2, but like Gun gets involved when things go farther than the area that's like Sonic and his friends typically live at.
Well, interesting point there was in episode 2 of Tales 2, Robotnik says that he put Gun in their place during his last campaign, and he's referring to Forces there. So it feels almost like he took down the humans first. I don't know.
It would actually kind of make sense if that was the case, because while we know that like Sonic and his friends will get involved with human affairs, they've done it several times. But it would make sense for Eggman to be like, okay, it's less likely for Knuckles and Tails and all of them to stop me out here. So while I have Sonic, taken care of, I'm going to start my campaign in these outskirts, and then kind of like pincer the island that they all live on, or at least however they contextualize it, whether it's they all live on one island or if there's a grouping of land masses that they just have to be in. If they're on Sonic Australia, who knows? But
I just also thought, like, oh yeah, the rationale you could do is, oh, they were all aboard the Death Egg as prisoners, but then Sonic fucking blew that up with all the prisoners inside.
oh, so you're saying that we solved the problem forever? There are no humans on Sonic's world.
Yes,
they're
Sonic
all dead now.
killed all of them.
I did always like the idea, because I think I shared it once before, this concept that like OG Sonic lore was basically that there were a bunch of humans, and then Eggman basically started experimenting on them, and those were where he got his badniks.
They could be like the SWAT bots.
I mean, that's Archie's lore.
Oh,
Like,
I think you've told me that before, actually. Yeah.
That's why Sonic Adventure being titled was such a weird fucking thing. They made Station Square an underground city in a mountain with a simulated fucking light.
I remember you saying this. What a weird thing to do.
They had to do something, man. They had a very thorough lore setup, and then Adventure came out. So
Yeah.
But
It's
whatever.
the game's never established a human society before Adventure, so
I mean, yeah, you could allude to it though.
I mean, Robotnik
we
is there. Like, there's got to be something, right? Like,
well, we've had city levels too, so
true.
yeah, someone's going to
it's
be hanging out at the casino. Like,
because technically, otherwise, you had just Sonic, you had just Robotnik, and then all a bunch of little animals, and then Tails, and then Knuckles. Like, we didn't have a lot of characters in general. So
And like it's not like other material didn't try to toy with other humans being around. I mean, just look at the OVA.
I just want to explore the tiny apes from Sonic Adventure that come out of the badniks. Like, why are they so small?
same as all the other animals being small. I
But
don't know.
they generally
see-
confined it to flickies. Like, nowadays, like, you see them in the new games and they just go for the flickies. I want to see some tiny apes. Give me a tiny monkey game.
Well, you see,
There's tiny
Eggman had to
monkeys
first.
in Sonic 2.
Eggman had to first develop shrinking technology, which we know is canon to the Sonic universe because it happens in the games to you.
I mean, that's literally. I mean, he does look like a little animal that fits inside a badnik.
Actually, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Holy shit, you did expand the lore there.
Damn.
Suris. You saved the industry.
Suris is now the new Ian Flynn.
That's fucking damn it.
Fucking did it. You fucking did it. So yeah, we liked Knuckles too, just fine.
It also serves as a prequel for Frontiers as well, with Tails being like, "Hey, you want to see some islands, bitch?" And then Sonic's like, "Hell yeah, let's see some islands. You ain't kidding, bro."
Whatever happened to the prologue animation that they teased forever ago, where they're like, "Yeah, Knuckles on Angel Island is relevant
Silly, Wayne,
to
that
this."
was the animation.
I mean, we still have 2 months before the game is out, man. Like it's
We have
probably gonna go now.
a month and 3 days or something like that.
Whatever. It's probably sometime in October. I don't know.
It'd be so funny if the animation comes out and it's just one extra shot. You've already seen half of it in Sonic Central.
I mean, it's not going to be anything huge. It's just going to show Knuckles getting swept up into the nonsense, and
It
it'll
just
be some
feels
pretty-
so strange to tease that months ahead of time, but I think they just had so little going on with that particular Sonic Central that they were just like, well, we gotta have something.
I mean, Sonic Colors Rise of the Wisps came out half a month before the game or something, so I don't know.
Man, I don't
Yeah.
remember. I forgot about that while I was watching it.
It was a
Yeah,
cute
there's no
little
rush.
animation.
There's no rush. You got all of October, so it's fine. They'll drop it at some point in these next few weeks, I'm sure. But
I
yeah.
like Sonic, man, it's pretty cool.
More
Is it
importantly,
pretty,
though,
pretty wizard, as the kids would say.
I pre-ordered my Clono and Android.
Okay.
Oh, no way, it's just pre-orderable now?
I gotta pre-order mine. I'm just a little tight on money. It's that the Dread Samus Figma and the Valhalla Nendoroid as well. There's just so much shit coming out when
Yeah.
I don't have the funds for it.
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
surprised.
I have to jump on top of an official fucking Clonoa figure. I
Yeah,
have
I'm
to.
surprised by how affordable that actually is. I thought it'd be way worse than it was.
Nendoroids are typically pretty alright in terms of price.
When is it out?
It's still pricey for what it is, but yeah.
When is
They say it's shipping this month.
Oh, hell
No,
yeah!
I'm a
pre-order.
liar. I'm a liar. Don't listen to me ever. I keep forgetting 2023 is a thing. August 2023.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah, that sounds fair.
hell. Why is
got
everything
a while.
releasing in August 2023?
I don't know, man.
What else is releasing in August of 2023?
The Spider-Man No Way Home 3-pack from Marvel
September
Legends.
though, isn't it?
No, it's August 2023.
It's so weird. But yeah. Outside of that, we also had a lot of Sonic Frontiers demo commentation from folks over at EGX. Have you guys been keeping up with that?
I've got 2 friends that were actually there.
Why don't you regale us?
Well,
You have
okay.
friends?
Right, that's it, Wayne. You just... God damn it, Wayne.
It's real hurt his feelings there, buddy.
Okay, so...
Makes him feel alive.
I had 2 friends that went, one of which was our good friend Tom Fortnite Topics. Yeah, the general consensus from the 2 of them was that there was some degree of agreement in that the open zone stuff was really, really solid. They really loved their open zone. As for cyberspace, bit more questionable. The main reason being is in the open zone, you can customize Sonic, choose how he handles and stuff. And he handles really well. He handles corners much better. Whereas in cyberspace, for whatever reason, he doesn't handle corners as well. And we've kind of seen that in some of the footage as well. There's quite a lot of him darting from left to right as the player tries to realign themselves with the track. Either, or maybe they're just not aware that the drift is on the analog stick now. I don't know. But the main criticism that I heard was that Sonic's base run speed in cyberspace is very sluggish. So, unless you're boosting, Sonic does not run very fast while in cyberspace. and it's like you kind of have to make use of things like the dash pads and the trick rings if you actually want to get that sort of kinetic sense of Sonic movement. Now, I don't know if that's like a deliberate decision or not, but like from what I understand, this is not your typical Boost era style gameplay. Nintendo Life even published a review on the demo recently where they said, yeah, like, if you're playing this with muscle memory of previous Boost games, be it Forces or be it Generations, you're going to be in for a surprise, because he found himself, like, falling off of edges and stuff. It's a lot less railroaded. It's a lot more, like, you know, free movement for Sonic. And another thing I found out from someone in my comment section yesterday as well is that if you boost into enemies, you just bounce off of them. You don't actually kill them. You have to homing attack them if you want to kill them. So, from the sounds of things, I remember when the announcement of the Sonic Frontiers gameplay came out, Gilly was saying maybe the boost is more akin to a run button. And I think he might have been really on the money with that, because from the looks of things, yeah, that's what it is.
So, open stage good, boost stage bad.
Pretty
Awkwardly.
much. At the same time, though, what I got from other things around the internet, because I've been kind of keeping track of other first impressions and reviews and, like, the Nintendo Life stuff, I get the feeling that there is a possibility that it might be that this new gameplay style in cyberspace still takes a bit of getting used to, maybe, and that maybe it might work out. But, yeah, I'm a little unsure about everything I'm hearing there. Yeah, we'll have to see when it's in hand, but I get the feeling that there's a possibility there's going to be a lot of people that first pick up the game and play cyberspace and like, yeah, this is a very downgraded version of the Boost gameplay, but then they realize it's like, oh, okay, so it's quite different to the Boost gameplay. It also, in that, like, the Boost meter is more like a stamina meter, like you were saying earlier, Suris, more akin to, like, Breath of the Wild. It recharges over time. Yeah, like, we've also found out that the Psy Loop has some interesting functions in that, like, if you draw an infinity sign with it, you get, like, an infinite boost for a certain amount of time. So it's just, yeah, there's different cool stuff, but the general consensus is that cyberspace is not as good as the open zone. And I think Tom Topics put it pretty well, where he said it kind of feels like the cyberspace is going to be like the werehog to Sonic Frontiers' Sonic Unleashed experience. In that it's like you got one half of the game that's clearly not as good as the other half. At the same time, what I find kind of ironic about that is if the worst half of this game is basically what the day stages were, that's kind of... It kind of says good things, actually. That's a good problem to have, like...
It's also not the worst in the world when you consider that the worst issue with the Werehog wasn't the control, it wasn't the watered down mechanics, it was the fact that compared to the day stages, there was just that much more Werehog. Whereas this looks like if the majority of the game is the part that people are enjoying, and it's the 50-second Sonic Forces style level that they're not going to be super happy with, that's not a bad ratio. That's a flipped ratio.
At the same time,
I'm tired of the ratio at all, man. Like, I don't like that there's like an inconsistency between the two different styles
I was about
of
to say. Yeah, I was about to say basically that is like, I personally, from what I've seen, am keeping an open mind to cyberspace. In that I think that there's a lot of people looking at this as like an evolution of the Generations gameplay when that's not what it's meant to be. I feel like the fact that you can't boost into enemies and that you have to kind of make use of the stage's features and stuff to get that sort of kinetic movement tells me that this is quite a drastically different gameplay style, even if it has some very similar mechanics. But what I was going to say was, I think Badnik Mechanic made a very good point on Twitter yesterday that he was catching a lot of flack for from people that I don't think quite understood what he was saying. He was saying that he gets a lot of people saying, yes, cyberspace is optional, but, like, okay, that doesn't change whether it's good or not. Like, I don't want to just be like, oh, yeah, this part of this game that I paid full price for is really bad, but at least I don't have to do it. You know, like, that's still not a good thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just I'm waiting until I've got it in hand, and I'm waiting until I've actually gotten to grips with it, because at the end of the day, like, it's 15 minutes of demo with a playstyle that looks a lot like Generations but doesn't feel like it. It might be that there is a right and wrong way of doing this, and from the sounds of things, like what I described there, Sonic feels a little sluggish unless you play the game in a way that makes use of certain features within the level's upper path. That still sounds pretty intrinsically Sonic in many ways, so I'm keeping an open mind.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate the report on all that. I don't know. You guys more or less excited? Do you guys care? Or?
So my opinions aren't really changing at this point. I went from excited that a new game was coming out to deflated because it looked like we were going to go through the standard Sonic cycle again, to back up where I was originally, like, okay, I'm excited about this thing again. None of this is really changing my mind too much. I think I've just hit kind of that until it's in my hands equilibrium.
What say you, Wes?
I'm gonna kind of echo Suris there, where it's like, because we were talking about stuff that's been leaking and everything recently, and I definitely am at that point where I've seen everything I need and want to see about the game. The rest I want to experience, and so it's like, a lot of the stuff I'm just kind of maybe subconsciously letting go in one ear and out the other, because I'm just like, I don't know. A lot of it is it's going to be I'm not going to know how I feel about it until I've felt it in my hands. So
there was
Here.
I think one thing I'm a bit bummed out about, and this is something I saw from like Sega's direct feed when they had some of their Japanese reps playing the game. The pop-in issues that were present in that initial gameplay reveal that I was pretty alienated by initially, they haven't been fixed. When NimSony made his video where he was saying that this is engine tech and is unlikely to be fixed, I think he was absolutely right. Like, the pop-in issues are still really bad, and like Nintendo Life made a point of saying a part of it though seems to be that the things that are popping in tend to be gameplay features like rails and such, and maybe there's like a plot reason that they're not meant to be there. It's a digital part of this island, a new digital layer that's opened up. But I feel like that almost feels like an in-game excuse for pretty poor engine tech. At the same time, it's not a deal breaker. Like, with everything else we've seen, I'm much more willing to say, okay, the pop-in, I can accept it, knowing that the gameplay loop at least looks really fun now. But, like, there's this one bit, I've kind of been saying, like, I feel like if you've got engine tech that can't handle lots of pop-in, you kind of should work around that a little bit. And the epitome of this is when you get to the main open world after the tutorial, it shows a sweeping shot of Kronos Island. The camera sweeps across the island and shows you all the vistas. And the pop-in, it feels so much like the opening of the Spider-Man 2 video game on the PlayStation 2, where the draw distance was really bad and everything's just appearing in front of your very eyes. It's like you can see that flat grassy island, but you can see towers and you can see rocks and stuff just appearing in front of your eyes. It's like, why did you have a sweeping shot? Your engine can't handle that. Why?
At the same time, though, so on stream I played a couple of other, like, some older, some newer games. Like, one of them's Genshin Impact, and I've noticed that just a lot of open world games just tend to have pop-in, and while it's not great, at the same time, I've noticed that, like, I just become numb to that pop-in if it's something that's far enough away. Not like, I'm not sure if any of you ever played the Overlord game on the Wii, where things would pop in like 10 feet in front of you. As long as the pop-in's not that bad, which none of the footage shows that it is, I know that I'm just going to become numb to it very quickly, because I do that with every other game that I play that has pop-in. I did that with Pokemon Legends Arceus. I did it with Genshin Impact. Like, it's just a part of those kind of games to me now.
Not to mention that all 3D Sonic games have some pretty piss-poor pop-in. Like, the way I see it, it's not a deal breaker by any stretch. But it is a little disappointing because I don't feel like a game releasing on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles should have issues with pop-in. But hey, this is the situation we've got. It's also a game releasing on the Switch. It's something I'm not going to excuse. It's something I'm not too happy about, but it's not a deal breaker. And if the rest of the game is really, really good, it's very unlikely it's going to impact the overall score I give to the game, basically.
The way it is, and I've just had to come to terms with this, is like Sonic is pretty much at the level of a mid-tier AA anime game, like a licensed game. And we just have a fan base that treats it like this big gargantuan AAA release when it's not. I mean, some people are curious about this for sure, but like the big draw of this season is God of War. And it's just not going to get the same kind of, how do I describe it? Sega is not going to treat Sonic like Sony treats God of War, I suppose.
So Sega's not going to treat Sonic the way they treated Sonic in the 90s.
Nope.
I think that's the thing,
nope.
though. I think that's why people are quite justifiably unhappy, or I'm quite unhappy to see that.
I agree.
It's like Sega should treat Sonic as the hot ticket IP. Now, I don't know if the pop-in is enough for me to say this game doesn't look AAA, but like there's definitely some evidence of cut corners in the presentation here and there. But like,
I mean, the cyber levels alone are proof enough of that.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, the way I see it with the cyberspace, or the way I've kind of said it, is you got to think, like, if the open zone is enough for an entire game, it's like, okay, we've built, like, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and now we want to build an arcadey, old-school style Sonic game on top of that. Like, you're not gonna have much budget left if you've done a good job on the open world. It's one of those things where assign a bigger crew, assign people to make new level geometries and stuff, but, like... I don't know how realistic I'm setting my expectations there, not just for Sonic, but just for a video game in general. I haven't seen a lot of open world games that have cyberspace thingies, and like, yeah, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has the temples, but let's also bear in mind that Link doesn't run at supersonic speeds and cover anywhere near as much ground as Sonic does. So it's kind of like, given their place in the grand scheme of things, I will not completely dismiss this as a piece of shit. You know, like...
Yeah, I know, I got you. Yeah, like as long as they get the open world traversal down, I think they're going to be in a safe space regardless. Like I've said, way in the past here, like for the fan base, if you give them a good story and like decent enough gameplay, they're going to be just fine. That's nothing to be concerned about. I mean, if the cyberspace stuff sucks, it sucks, and that's a shame. And it's very much Sonic Team's, bread and butter, right? Like, hey, we have this thing sorted out. Let's fuck it up.
Well, I mean, Sonic Forces did come out last. I think that's another thing, is people are... Like, even if open zone is the new direction that Sega are moving in going forward, I think people want a little reassurance that Sonic Team still know how to make a basic Sonic level, and I think... The thing is, we didn't have any evidence of that in Sonic Forces, and then with cyberspace, it's such a different beast to, like, the typical Sonic zone. Like, I think people were expecting cyberspace to be like, hey, they've built Sonic Generations on top of Sonic Frontiers, effectively, when they are still ultimately bite-sized stages. And that's the thing, is it's the optics of it. It's the fact that Sonic Forces came out before it that makes cyberspace a lot harder to digest, But I think once people have it in hand and have played it, we'll have at least a much clearer understanding of what this is. And I might even play the game and say, oh, fuck me, cyberspace sucks. It's completely possible. But we will see. As far as it goes, it's not common. Like, a common thing for open world games is a sense of monotony. And I think even just having a Sonic Forces length stage in there is actually a really solid pace breaker that gives it an advantage against a lot of other open world kind of games. So it's why I'm keeping an open mind about it.
And as for me, it's like things like I might be the odd man out here, and this might be giving them a little bit too much of an easy out. Pop out is not a thing that's ever really bothered me to a huge degree, to be perfectly honest. That's something that's just sort of like absorbed into my brain at this point as normal, in the same sense as loading screens are normal. Is it nice when they're not there? Yeah, but it's also the sort of thing where it's just like, man, I don't know what goes into just trying to make sure all of these things just pop in without, causing this, that, or the other kind of issues. One thing that we don't get to see as the people that aren't developing these games is what issues arise from things that shouldn't seem connected. But anybody who's been in any level of programming can tell you that it's just you change one thing and then suddenly your
Everything
game's been
falls
broken
apart.
in half.
Yeah, and as like Sony was saying, like the pop-in and stuff, the stream loading is engine tech, and like the game is built on top of the engine, so you're not gonna like build the game and then suddenly dig back in there and be like, oh, I'm gonna change the engine, because that's just gonna completely fuck it all up.
And that's not to denote that there may be ways that this could have been circumvented even for this project, but without knowing what those are, I'm not going to try to play expert here and say that this should have definitely been addressed. You know what I mean?
I mean, the thing that you could say is, like, I suppose if there weren't a ton of buildings in the way, you'd probably see quite a bit of pop-in in Spider-Man PS4 or whatever. Like, but the buildings cover that up, so it's like, okay, you could have scenery in Sonic, but then, and this was a lot of people's criticism early on, was there's a lot of empty space. Sonic covers a lot of ground, more so than a lot of other video game characters, so you do need lots of space for him. So it's that thing of Sonic being in an awkward position simply because he fucking dared to be fast. But yeah,
and that was something that was always going to be a problem with a Sonic like larger open space game.
Yeah, and I think as long as they can get the gameplay loop right, and I'm confident about the gameplay loop, that looks good, and as long as traversal of the island feels good, which I'm also pretty confident about, and it looks like there's quite a bit of options for, like, not only customizing Sonic, but what moves you choose to pull. Like, from what I heard from my EGX friends, like, yes, you can boost your way across the island, but it's actually very rewarding if you utilize the drop dash at points where there are inclines, because you will get more speed out of the drop dash going down a hill than you will out of the boost. So it's almost kind of like, hey, you like boost Sonic gameplay, we've got that in there. If you do want some momentum, there are certain moves you can do to achieve that, even if it isn't the overall entire thing. And I was very surprised, particularly by the 2D Green Hill Zone stage that we've seen, that Sonic can roll now in 2D without doing the drop dash. And that when he's going round loop-de-loops, even when on foot, those inclines are still affecting him. I was actually really happy to see, in the 2D cyberspace stages, a demonstration of the actual sort of sense of velocity that Sonic has, as opposed to him just trundling along like he's a car.
I am happy that we are getting a little more of Sonic's moveset as opposed to planting a car in an engine and then putting a Sonic skin on him.
Right, yeah.
Which has been kind of what they've done for the last few games.
It feels like...
Boost Series takes more from Sonic R than any other Sonic game.
It feels like a compromise. Like, it's not fully... It's not like the momentum Sonic that, like, Sonic Utopia is, but it's like there's options in there for if you do want to experience that,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I keep saying about my problem with Sonic Team is just the lack of commitment to one thing or another. They always want to have their cake and eat it too, and then it becomes a jack of all trades, master of none situation. And I think Forces was the biggest egregious issue, culmination of all those problems.
True.
I don't know, man. Like, when it comes to Sonic, like, I shouldn't have to be looking for little hints here and there in demo gameplay. Like, it should be built around those general mechanics. So as long as that is fine for whatever it is doing for this game, I'm not going to make a big stink. But whether or not it's a good game remains to be seen. But I am happy to hear from more hardcore Sonic fans saying that the open world stuff, like the things we're actually here for, that seems to be a solid situation. which is weird when you consider all the game reviewers are saying like it's weird they're not showing the cyberspace stuff because that's the actual good gameplay.
Yeah, that is so weird to me, like how the journalists are like, why can't the whole game just be cyberspace? And the rest of the world is like, fuck off, we've had that. Stop trying to push us back. In kind of building off of what you said though, Nick, I would agree to a point, but a part of me also thinks that's once again Sonic Forces' terrible optics jumping in there. Because I feel like Sega, or just Sonic Frontiers, is a very deliberately sandboxy game as well. Like, you know, choose your gameplay loop. It's a big open island. Do whatever the fuck you want. You want to play Sonic Momentum style? Fucking do it. You want to play Sonic Boost style? Fucking do it. You want to do linear stages? Do it. You know, like, it feels like there's a lot of that. And that's a great idea. And I think it's the non-committal nature of the games before it that makes it feel like, oh, but again, believe it when you see it, have it in hand, you know? Like, that's the truth. I'm not gonna fucking try and defend a game that's not even fucking out yet.
Yeah, I mean, they've been riding on the coattails of their one universally beloved game from the last decade, you know? So
that's another thing I wanted to mention, actually, is Cyberspace Green Hill. It's something I said in my own video that I did on the Cyberspace stages yesterday. Use of Green Hill, like, even if they're doing, like, the memories thing, use of Green Hill here feels very sacrilege, because if you've seen any footage of, like, the Green Hill stages, it's those bite-sized mini-stages, you don't have the swings, you don't have this big playground for Sonic, and I was like, use of Green Hill feels really sacrilege. It's Green Hill in appearance only. I think we have come close to recapturing the magic in things like Green Hill Act 2 in Generations, and the 3D Green Hill in Sonic Adventure 2, but, like, this is clearly not even trying. And
yeah,
the thing I was thinking is Kronos Island is more Green Hill than Green Hill in this game. Even if the aesthetic isn't Green Hill, like, just the nature of it being this playground with lots of different mechanics for you to play with Sonic is more fundamentally Green Hill than Green Hill. And there's a part of me that almost just kind of thinks, like, man, even if they're doing the cyberspace thing, if it's geared up around being bite-sized levels, it almost feels like omit Green Hill. Start with Sky Sanctuary and Chemical Plant and stuff, and leave Green Hill out of it, because Green Hill represents a lot more than what cyberspace is going to do with it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we had that discussion before. Like, that's always been my biggest offense when it comes to using Green Hill, just because the idea of it has always been the virtual playground.
Right, and it almost kind of makes sense for Green Hill to be the open zone, but at the same time, I would rather have completely brand new open zones and rehashed cyberspace than the other way around, so it's a trade-off, you know?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's whatever at this point. Like, we know they're there, we know that they can do boost, hopefully they don't fuck it up too bad. And now it's on them to show us that they can do more. Like I said, this is the last chance I think they have to prove that this particular engine of Sonic the Hedgehog that they've been relying on since 2008 is worthwhile and versatile enough to continue to carry this franchise forward. And we will see. We will see, because we saw, even regardless of my dislike of the Werehog, the fact of the matter is that thing is capable of more than just speedy race car stages. So it's nice to see them come back around and give this another go. But hey, the other half of the table has been really, really, really quiet. Pup, you've been kind of carrying the whole show. I've been more curious to hear Suris and Wayne. You guys have any other thoughts about that?
I'm kind of at the point myself where I feel like not to be like really boring, but I feel like we've kind of beat the dead horse to the point where it's not getting up, where cyberspace is concerned.
A lot of it really is, I think, because so much of it depends on our speculation and just kind of what we're seeing secondhand. A lot of it really is. It's we're not speculators. We're game reviewers. Like, we I think we really are at the point where we want to get this in our hands, and we want to be able to tell you how we think it feels. Now, that said, like, I do agree with, like, I don't think that we should have to analyze all of this stuff to be able to tell, hey, here's what we can rely on for, you know, controls, like being able to roll around and stuff like that. They haven't been very upfront about, like, what we're capable of in the game. in terms of like what movement we can expect from. But then again, they've also never tried to market a game quite like this for Sonic. It's very, it's very new for the character. We're going to run into some issues with how it operates. We were always going to once they took Sonic into this formula, and I said that earlier. Stuff like pop-in, stuff like that. It's why people always asking for stuff like, why can't we get Sonic games that just have like bigger, huger levels and more of them and everything like that, but they want it around the same time frame that they've been getting Sonic games up to that point anyway. And I'm just like, you don't understand that just fundamentally the way that Sonic works, how much has to go into building these levels, because you need more of it because of how quickly you're moving through them. And they're still expected to uphold a certain level of detail. They're still expected to uphold a certain level of creativity and kind of check the platforming boxes
to
along
add to
the
that
way.
as well. Like, people will bring up, oh, but Heroes had lots of levels and they were long. But the thing is, that was a whole bunch of generations ago. Like, the level geometry didn't have to be anywhere near as detailed as it does now. Like, with changing times, it gets harder and harder to build levels for Sonic.
Not to mention, prior to Heroes, Sega was for Sonic specifically, Sega was coasting off of a bunch of re-releases to make their money while Heroes was being developed. Like, an adventure re-release. What's up?
That was because of bankruptcy more than anything else.
Yeah, but the point is still there that like there were other things that they were able to do whilst Heroes was in development, as opposed to just putting all their all into a single thing. Like, granted, I guess the analog to that now would be they make money off of Sonic Forces Mobile, right. So like they've got that now, as far as like their passive income,
plus
as it
Origins and Colors Ultimate in a way.
And the entirety of Sega outside of Sonic.
Yeah. They've got more going on now than they did at that point.
Yeah, I think this open zone thing really needs to work, because I don't know, if I were Sega or I was Sonic Team and Sonic Frontiers didn't do well, I'd probably be like, oh fuck, what now? Like, because we've exhausted like regular Sonic levels. They're getting harder and harder to make. The expectation for high graphical fidelity is there, but yet we got to make things that are long enough for Sonic to power through and feel substantial. Like, it's a tough thing to do, to make a 3D Sonic game where Sonic moves as quick as he does. You've either got to slow him down or something. So it's like, even if Sonic Frontiers doesn't come out all that well, I'm really hoping that Sega will just stick with open zone and just treat that as that's the formula going forward, because on paper it should work.
Yeah, and that's because I do think that we've been stretching the linear stage to stage stuff pretty thin. I think Sonic Colors really brought that home for me specifically, where it's just like, part of the appeal for me was I liked in Sonic games where you're just moving from all of these differing locations at a pretty brisk pace. And then Sonic Colors is, here, spend a really long amount of time playing an almost endless amount of levels that all have the same fucking aesthetic. And that got tiresome really quick.
And it's not even just that as well. It's like, here's the level you previously played, but now there's like, I don't know, like a fucking balloon machine or something in there that you have to chase. I don't know, something stupid like that.
Play the level again, but this time it's only the 2D section, and by the way, it's an auto-scroller. Have fun.
There's a fucking moving yellow spring in there. It's a new stage.
I still think Colors is one of the most generic platformers I've played in years.
That's what it's going to be in 10 years' time.
I think the aesthetic and the soundtrack stands above and beyond everything else in that game.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. There's a character to what that game looks like on the surface that is not matched by how that game plays.
It has this the general aesthetic matches everything that I love about Sonic the Hedgehog, but it doesn't have the explorability that those old games managed to, I mean, not perfectly, especially Sonic CD, but managed to find in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And I think that's all really Frontiers needs to survive and do well. There's trepidation going into this. Like, some people are going to try this out of curiosity, and as long as they can prove that's worth, checking out, I think the rest is going to do just fine. I think cyberspace has already proven that it's a tried and true formula. Even if it's tweaked, like it's only going to be noticeable by us. I think the general audience is going to be like, it's fine, it's whatever, and it might not even be needed to beat the fucking game. Just go fish the whole time. And
Yeah, sorry, go ahead and finish.
the thing with Sonic the Hedgehog that they need to get correctly, this is what made it work back in the 90s more than speed, more than anything else, is that fresh addictive traversal. Something akin to the very first time you played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or Spider-Man 2. It's just, yeah, the rest of the game is here and it's solid, but holy shit, I can't just stop moving. I love just moving.
100%.
And that's what Sonic did.
I've said in my videos a couple of times that I think one of my golden rules is something you have to get down above anything else is your character moving from point A to point B. Make that fun, and the rest will fall into place.
It's we had Nick and I had a conversation on the way to LA, and we were talking about like level themes we'd quite like to see for the open zone and stuff, and we kind of landed on how cool would it be if we had a remake of Sonic Colors, but it was in the open zone format. So you have the Interstellar amusement park to explore.
You actually get to like go explore it.
Yeah, you actually get to go do shit as opposed to.
I had like in my head, like we talked about in the show, way early, like one of our first episodes, when we were talking about Ultimate. Like, yeah, but how crazy would it be if like we had like a new lobby and then you could go into each area,
a little
like
hub world.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is
That's
that
depressing.
because I've said this before, and I remember people like. I remember people in the comments saying that they didn't agree with me at all. I still think Frontiers looks exactly like the evolution of Sonic Adventure 1 I've been waiting years for. And a lot of that is you have these large open areas you get to go out and explore. That's something I loved when I was a kid. Again, I got myself lost in the Mystic Ruins because I liked being there and I liked moving around in it. And I liked finding little things just kind of like scattered around. I always wished that there was more to find. But if Sonic Frontiers could kind of scratch that itch, then hey, there we go. The thing is that we have, like, the cyberspace levels. I think that there's a little bit hinging on that. I do think that the fact that they're putting it in there at all means that they need to get it done right. And I think a big part of that is because Sonic Adventure 1 was not just the hub worlds, it was also the levels that inhabit them. And I'm wondering if the cyberspace levels are going to be able to match what I enjoyed about the full levels in Sonic Adventure 1. It's kind of like Gilly and I were talking about this, and I swear I brought this franchise up as a joke earlier just because I've been really liking it again, but it is actually kind of relevant. So Shovel Knight Dig just came out, and that's a roguelike platformer game. And he said that if you like the action in Shovel Knight, you'll be good, but you're not getting the intelligently made levels, like, the deliberate structure that those stages have in the main game. Is that what we're looking at for the cyberspace levels? Are they just going to be kind of milquetoast, get from point A to point B, or are they going to feel like full, deliberately created zones?
You know that something Sony's been doing recently with all their big releases, and I think they started with Uncharted 4, where they kind of have this weird mishmash of different styles of gameplay all mixed in there. Pup, I was playing Ratchet and Clank again just the other night, and I don't know if you got to this point or not yet. Did you get to the rocket boots?
Yeah. Oh, I love the rocket boots.
It's just Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I noticed
it's well
that.
played.
It's
just a good Shadow the Hedgehog. You got guns, you got hover boots. It's a really good Shadow the Hedgehog game.
Dude,
are you playing Rift Apart?
Hell
yeah.
When I was playing that, man, I was like, man, Insomniac should totally make a Sonic game. Like, this combined with, like, what's it called? Sunset Overdrive. Fucking Sonic perfection. But, am I allowed to play that, by the way, Nick? Am I allowed to go in your game room and play that?
Your own video game?
Yeah, I don't know if you fucking sneezed all over the couch or whatever.
Have you not played Sunset Overdrive?
No, I've played Sunset Overdrive, you fucking dingus. The PlayStation 5.
Of course you are, dude. Jesus.
Thanks, man.
Oh my god. Oh
My
god.
God.
Yeah, I like Sonic.
But
It's gonna be so much easier on my end when y'all are here because there's 4 TVs in the room y'all are gonna be in.
I am not bringing my PS5
Back
to
off.
fucking Georgia. That's staying here on that trip.
The Nintendo Switch is a lovely console, and there's more than one dock in there as well.
Oh, I'll dock my Switch in your dock.
I'll bring my Steam Deck. I need to figure out how to finish making that emulator today.
We have shit.
Look at the
We have shit at Nick's and docking at Suris's.
Well,
And that
everyone, I
say-
think we're just gonna probably be doing like just the same speculation over and over and over again. Like we haven't really learned too much new.
Also,
outside of,
Wayne,
there's-
Wait,
Yeah.
I am absolutely a speculator. I might review games, but I totally speculate as well. But
I meant like as a collective.
no. Listen, shut up, okay?
No, he's
I-
different and special.
Yeah.
Believe him.
No, I love you, Wayne.
Okay.
What the fuck? All right, let's just move on to super chats. Come on, get out of my face. I'm ready to
Yeah,
go back to
give me
sleep.
1 second.
all right.
Getting the burger.
Burger. Oh man, I really wanted to get McDonald's breakfast, but I think I might be too late. No, I'm not. I am. Yeah.
You are too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, in the UK they extended it by an hour. Damn it.
It used to be
before COVID,
24/7
yeah.
breakfast.
Before COVID, anyway.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Oh, also,
Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, Nick, somebody brought this up in my chat after the Digimon video. You gotta get Pup to try some IBC like root beer or cream soda.
I'll try,
Yeah, that stuff's good.
I'll try the cream soda, but as a British person, I instinctively don't like root beer.
Oh, you gotta try the IBC
You have to try-
stuff. That's the
You have to
best
try
root
cream
beer.
soda.
Oh, we're gonna start a war.
It's okay for as far as like what you can find in a grocery store. It's good. I would say that all those like finer bottle ones have little slight changes here and there, but if you don't like one, you're not gonna like the rest.
Do you want to know how
Yeah, that's fair.
you want to know how
Cream soda though.
overkill I am with the soda drinks? I've drank all of the Mountain Dews that Nick got me.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
And Nick was like, "Go easy on the cactus cooler." And when he said that, I was like, "Okay, I'll just buy a new lot from Amazon then."
Why did you get it from Amazon? That shit's so expensive on Amazon.
It's not that expensive. Where else am I supposed to? What am I supposed to fucking drive to California?
I would just. It's fine. I
No,
will be back in
no.
California.
I've got you all of the cactus cooler you could possibly fucking want.
Thanks, Pub.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love
I
you
just
too.
always have a thermos filled with soda, but that's just a me problem.
See, Wayne, was
That
that,
is-
I'm
was
also
that so
mad at
fucking
You're gonna have
hard,
kidney
Wayne?
stones.
What?
Was that so
What?
fucking hard? Was it so hard to reciprocate? Huh? And as for you, Suris, I've just given up on you altogether.
Hey, I'm at least telling you that you're not alone in the soda problems.
I have told you I love you too more times than anybody else on the cast.
But you didn't today, and that's what matters. It was today, Carmine! Today!
Let's get these stupid super chats done.
Oh, right.
Baptist.
Who's starting?
I did the long read.
Okay, so I will do the shoot. Where are we?
I
Hey
think it's
guys.
You're on Zygarde.
You're on Zygarde. I'll put the burger down so you can find it, Linda.
Okay. So we got Zygarde, Zygarde Logon, with $10. Hey guys, glad to hear that Nick is sounding better than he did Wednesday. And also, what's your opinion on Speed Racer Mac Go Go Go, both the anime and the movie,
That's probably mock.
or Mach?
It's Mach.
Yeah, sorry, that makes more sense. Mach Go Go Go. Is Mach Go 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 what it's called in Japan?
I have no idea.
Okay. If those are the same franchise, Speed Racer the anime, I never gave it a whole lot of time or attention. The movie though, I thought was a lot of fun. I don't think it's a hidden cinematic masterpiece like a lot of other people do, but I do enjoy it.
I'm echo Wayne, word for word.
I enjoyed the anime when I was a kid, and I watched that really awful but in retrospect hilarious English dub. That is the extent of my care or memory.
I thought the anime was really good. I definitely preferred the sub to the dub. You know, because I like the Japanese language and it was really pretty. But yeah, I really liked how it was like animated and shit. And then there was the movie, and I liked how it was like live action as well. That was really good. I haven't seen any of it.
I was about to say it. So, Pup, if you should actually watch like at least an episode of Speed Racer at some point. Not because I think it's like super great quality, but because it's like if you look at the bottom of the bin of Hanna-Barbera, under that you'll find Speed Racer.
Okay.
The dub of that is the reason why we had 2 decades full of anime jokes just being about horrible, shitty dubs and noises. It's an experience you have to have at least once.
Tuxedo Mask, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Sailor
All right.
Moon, you know, the fucking dub of Sailor Moon. No. Okay.
I don't think the dub of that was even that horrible.
Pup, you're up.
Pup? Oh, Pup. Okay, so Boat NB. Oh, Boat NB, I get it. Sends $2. I'm fighting a hurricane. Wish it luck. That's that is powerful wording right there.
The confidence.
Yeah, I envy that. Like, I wish I was Boatin, I wish I was like you. Really, I do.
We do, of course. All of our thoughts are with everybody dealing with Hurricane.
All our thoughts are with shit. Is that what you're about to say?
I just got a lot of people, like, when I posted, just letting everyone know, like, hey, look, I'm feeling like garbage, so stuff will come out when it comes out.
No, it's just really that's just a funny sentence.
Just a lot of people, like, thoughts and prayers, like, literally just wrote the words thoughts and prayers. Like, it's just sometimes just don't say anything.
On the behalf of the entire White House, we're praying for you.
I lived through Hurricane Ivan. It's not a fun experience, and I sincerely hope everybody dealing with Ian, both the asshole Ian and also the hurricane, managed to get through just fine.
Who's the asshole Ian?
I mean, some people don't like Flynn, but they're weird.
You have to call him an asshole, though. Damn.
Whichever asshole Ian they have in their life, whether
Phoenix
real or
with
imaginary.
2 licks. Oh no, they are talking about Sonic. Hey guys, by the way, smile.
What? By the way, I'm quite. I think they meant the "hey guys" was the "by the way" part.
Oh. Hey guys, by the way. All right.
It's like, hey guys, by the way.
Smile.
Hey guys, by the way here.
By the way, I love you. Oh jeez.
That's, well.
Oh jeepers creepers.
Unintentionally creepy.
Osjam Age, thank you very much for the $10. With Frontiers, I hope that at the very least they can evolve with the open world concept more and becomes the norm. Albeit with new things coming in to make it fresh, maybe play other characters. Yeah, having other playable characters in the Sonic game is a very novel concept that I can't believe we've gotten to the point where it just doesn't fucking happen.
From the perspective
anymore.
of Gilly referring to this game as Super Sonic 64 prior to when we saw the first gameplay reveal, I am just fine with this. I'm just fine with the idea of Sega giving us one gameplay style that we can just do a fuck ton of stuff with. I'm okay with it if they want to do that. I mean, of course, if they said, oh yeah, we're introducing Tails and you can fly and shit, like, I wouldn't object. Or cyberspace stages where you can play as the other characters. Now that would be kind of cool.
I think the problem has always been cyberspace, or in other words, the boost levels, because they don't really leave room for a lot of other characters outside of your clones like Shadow or Metal Sonic. And they've only really taken advantage of that one time. And I do hope the open zone idea does give us some more, chances for Tails and Knuckles.
You should check out the
Amy video, man. Like, I'm so fucking tired of the disrespect this character gets. She was so much fucking fun to play. Jesus Christ.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Who? Amy.
Well,
I love how she plays one and
or Sonic Advance.
I love how she plays.
Oh yeah, no, I actually enjoyed her story a lot more than I expected to. I like that hammer jump thing that she can do as well.
It's super satisfying.
Yeah, when you get it
so
right,
fucking
it's a lot of fun.
Because you have to force. Yeah, you really. You have to make that momentum work, man. Like it's good shit.
Yeah.
That's the Mario 64 shit right there.
The Amy Renaissance is in full swing. I gotta admit, like, when I was playing Adventure 1, I was like, you know, Amy is just likable. You know, like, she's just likable. Like, I've said, you know, her characterization in the earlier games is just girl. But the thing is, Nick, you always said that girl knows what she wants. But her final line of dialogue in her story is, I'll make that Sonic respect me, and by then it will be too late. And I'm just like, so what do you want then? You don't know what you want, clearly. I also
it's a journey from being the chick that has to be rescued into her own hero. In her own right.
I know. I also just love
it.
Like, one of the lyrics to her theme songs is like, I'm not simple-minded, but then there's a bit where she goes up to an Eggman base and is like, this place looks suspicious. It's like, oh yeah, no shit, Sherlock. I love that game so much for just its stupid moments. I think the funniest moment for me is in Gamma's story, where Robotnik is doing this big fanfare thing. He's up on this stage, and he's like, your first mission! And he's like, a tailed frog! Very unique! And I was just like, that is hilarious.
I think my favorite moment from his campaign was the, location unknown. This presents a problem.
And just Tails in the ruins of Station Square, just like, all's well that ends well, alright?
We did it, Patrick. We saved the city.
It's such an unintentionally funny game, but it is so charming, and like, I would not object to if they were like, hey, we're gonna write these games like shit again. Like, 'cause if they can do it like that, I will take 1,000 Sonic Adventure incompetent writings over a single fucking Pontaf script.
Let's see how Ian does.
Yeah, Ian, right? Ian, yeah. Like, he's gonna do great.
That,
No, Frontiers is gonna be like the most unironically good Sonic story ever, I think. Thanks to Ian.
Let's keep going.
Oh yeah, we got Lederick with $50. Hospital food sucks. Did something happen?
Why are you in hospital, Lederick? Grow up.
Yeah, why is Lederick what?
I was saying it to Nick earlier.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. We hope you're okay.
He might just be talking about my recent trip too, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, when they feed you your own gallbladder, yeah, it's gonna suck.
Oh my god.
Now for sale on Patreon.
Your turn, Pup.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Okay, so Evan Deathion. Wow, what a great second name. I hope that's real. Sends $2.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be a gun.
I just want his name to be Deathion now. No, seriously, that is a sick last name. Anyways, $2. Thoughts on the Switch port of Frontiers? Worried? I'm not
Always
worried. And that's because the game looks like shit, so I think it will run well. But I'll see, because I've pre-ordered it. I've pre-ordered it on Switch and PlayStation 5, so...
We're getting back to the point where I get kind of annoyed at the success of Nintendo's shittier stuff. And I don't mean shittier, but like lower spec equipment. Because since they're as popular as they are and Sonic does so well with the Nintendo crowd, I would assume that they have to start off with the Switch in mind as opposed to the PS5 in mind. And I think this is always going to be a fucking last-gen system. Or last-gen.
And that's the problem I've always had with Nintendo touting their, the specs don't matter, the games matter. And I'm like, yeah, and you're kneecapping them. Like, you're directly influencing what the games are going to be capable of depending on the hardware that you sell. And, I mean, we've seen games work well on the Switch. Just look at, like, Doom Eternal and Nier Automata coming out now with its version. But... also look at like what had to go into optimizing those ports specifically. That is not a small task, and that's something that had to go dedicated into that specific version. It's nuts. Like Doom Eternal came out like a year later on the Switch and had to obviously needed some pretty big graphical downgrades to be able to run well, but the fact that it's possible doesn't negate like the work that has to go into just optimizing that, and something that has to go into the same release time frame as other systems. That's kind of crippling.
It's the same thing that Capcom has had to do. So to get the RE engine to work on the Switch at all, they had to heavily modify it because Monster Hunter Rise runs on RE engine. And then the other games that were built on the RE engine, the actual Resident Evil games they made, none of those are able to run on Switch. They all have to run in cloud mode.
Yeah.
Like it's a very weird handicap that doesn't need to be there.
It's just, hey, this game, but shitty.
Yeah. There's always solutions around it, though, right? Like, sometimes people make Switch versions of things, the clouds, this, that, the other, but yeah. Long and short of it, I don't know if Frontiers overall is going to be a weaker game because of the Switch, or if the Switch version is going to suck, or maybe it's just fine. I mean, the game, like, bluntly, none of the game I've seen so far looks all that demanding in terms of technical prowess, so maybe it'll be fine. We'll see.
Maybe it'll be fine.
All right, OzJam H, $2. Pup, try mug root beer. It will be quite a mug moment. I have not tried mug since
Who are
the
you
90s.
calling mug?
And I didn't try mug because the first time I had it, it tastes like black licorice, and I said, fuck this.
Oh, dude, I can't drink that. Like, if it's black licorice and it's got that aniseedy taste, right? We have... do you have Sambuca over here in the States?
Yeah.
Yeah, one night I just got completely wrecked on Sambuca, and I cannot go near anything that tastes even remotely like it anymore.
Well, I don't know if it still tastes like that or not. I just remember as a kid, I really thought it was disgusting.
Well,
so
I
never
need someone to
bothered.
check first, because otherwise, that mug moment will become a vomit moment. Like,
Beer's always solid, though.
I don't know what you're referring to in terms of the taste.
aniseed. Black licorice.
Okay, yeah, no, black licorice tastes horrible. I've never had the impression that mug root beer tasted that way. It's never been one of my favorites, but I've never had that feeling of like, this just tastes like something I despise.
I remember...
Yeah, I'll have to give it a shot, because I remember when mug was coming out. Like, they made a big deal about it, like, mug root beer, it's all tough. It's beer for kids, and there's a bulldog on front of it.
Cute.
And then it tastes like shit.
Yeah, no, if it tastes like black licorice, I cannot drink it. My parents had to pick me up that night. It was very embarrassing. Yeah.
Jeez.
Amazing.
But it's okay.
All
I
right.
like to... I like A&W.
A&W's good.
A&W's like the standard.
Yeah.
Suris.
Bards is fine too.
Suris, you're
Mr.
up.
Krabs, thank you for the $4.99. Nick, I managed to watch the rise of the TMNT, and I like it.
Good shit. Good job, Krabs.
Suris, you didn't give this person a name.
Did I? Oh shit! I pulled a Wayne.
You are incompetent. Sorry, I have to
Oh,
chastise.
see, not so fucking easy, is it?
I have.
Oh my god.
Hey, Suris never chastised you for that.
It's Mr. Terry Chaos. For God's sakes.
Oh, good job, Nick.
Okay, so wait, liked it. Yeah, so you said Mr. Terry Chaos?
Mr. Terry Chaos.
Yeah.
Okay, with two licks. Since 16-bit triple, you enjoyed any more fan games? I've not had the time.
I have not had the time either.
Too busy talking about video games to play video games, guys.
Yeah, been busy editing together a feature-length film.
I dabbled. I played a bit of I did a Sage live stream. And I played a little bit of Sonic and Shadow, the game with the sort of the open zone feel, and I enjoyed that. Sonic and the Fallen Star, obviously, I mean that came out before Triple Trouble 16-bit, but yeah, highly recommend that. Man, like as far as classic fan games go, like we've been eating good this year. Like the fans delivered where Sonic Team did not.
I don't know if it's like 2-3 episodes ago, but Pup actually went into greater detail about the stuff he's checked out at Sage. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've been having an
check that.
adventure of my own. And now for the Mike that we do not discriminate against. Mike1911 sends $4.99. Just for the record, I'm the Halo custom Lego buff and have a preference for big bore handguns in addition to being a Sonic fan. I like custom Lego. I got a buddy that does custom Legos, and he sent me a few of them, and they're really sick. So hell yeah, Nick.
Good job. OzJam H, $5. Also, did you guys see the recent Famitsu with Sonic Frontiers? It kind of hints of new island, Chaos Island. Also, drink gamer juice quota.
We talked about this yesterday.
We did see
chat.
some stuff on that. That's where we all had that idea that like Angel Island is like there's a chance.
We're getting some fucking Angel Island lore, baby. I will be disappointed and biased if I don't get it.
And I want to tell people about my cool lore idea, okay? The final island should be Demon Island, and it's the opposite of Angel Island, and it's got its own fucking emeralds and shit, and they give Sonic a new form that isn't the super form, and we get an answer as to where the Chaos Emeralds come from. They belong to the Titans because they take them away from Sonic with such ease after the boss fights. So it could be like, you know, the Echidna tribe stole the emeralds. They're not theirs, and they're not supposed to be, and Sonic is never supposed to have them. And that's why the Titans are so pissed. I don't think that's going to happen, but it'd be cool.
Well, some Chaos Emerald lore would be nice. It's nice to be building off of Wayne's fun opposite Angel Island idea. We pitched way back in the day.
Yeah, I think emeralds are pretty cool.
All right. Who just won? Was that just you, Pup?
That was just you, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that
that was Nick.
Yeah,
so.
you just read.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
so the next one is Mike 1911. Thank you for the $1.99 just to tell the difference between the other Mike.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. You're in the clear now. We found our target. we
Also, fuck you, Mike.
we no longer want to attack the replacement, Mike. We
My God.
will torture the original.
We'll destroy all of them.
We got Mr. Krabs with $1.99. Ben Shabibo. Let's just say that fuck the pain away.
Hypothetically, for the sake of argument, the pain, it's fucked.
What a perfect super chat for you to land on, by the way, Wallace.
No.
Okay.
I guess.
OzJam H sends $5. Amy and Sonic Adventure. That blue boy's quilly bum is mine. No one can own it except me. And that stalker bot ain't gonna stop me. Was that how you wanted that read? Because when I saw quilly bum, I had to make Amy British.
That's
It's
fair.
perfect.
Gotta mod the voice act. Whatever the fuck that was.
It's just pup the pup pack.
Amy Rose, but she's British. Oi, Sonic, get over here, you wanker!
Yep, there you go. Oh man. Okay. M Benny just gave us 10 licks. Well, thanks, dude. And yeah, like I keep saying, anytime M's in here, go check out his channel. It's fucking incredible. Definitely some of the most insightful looks into Sonic mechanics, 3D Sonic specifically. Yeah.
Okay.
Your turn, Suris.
Next one we got is Xavier Fortin. Thank you for the $2.79 Canadian. To Pup, F you for fartin'.
Xavier Fortin.
And then we got
Yeah,
It's
go
weird
on.
to hear that echoing from the other room before you hear it in the headphones.
And then we got Mr. Krabs with $4.99. Also, Wayne, that Digimon video was a masterpiece. And also, yeah, Galaxy Big Brain Time. Thank you.
That was a great video, man.
Yeah,
It was.
please go watch it.
Please
That
go
video's
watch
hurting a little bit. It's not doing like it didn't tank per se, but it's not doing great.
YouTube's
Let's not be
algorithm
prepared.
right now is being a complete dick. I've got other friends that are suffering because of it. So, fans, viewers, slaves, do what the algorithm won't and market our content, especially Wayne's, because he worked really hard on it. That's not to say
Really
that Nick doesn't work hard. It's just that I kind of did the work for him in the last one.
Oh my God.
Oh my god. You ain't wrong.
Nah, I'm not
But
gonna.
Wayne, this is about Wayne.
This is
Yeah,
about Wayne.
like, this is for real one of, I mean, hands down, this is the best Digimon World video I've ever seen about the game. It's definitely the most comprehensive. So I highly, highly recommend it. It's one of those games like I just don't know if I'm ever going to play, but I feel much more satisfied after watching that video.
You won't come out the same way if you do.
I believe it. That looked.
So what will he come out?
I appreciate you confirm that this is just as fucking tedious as it sounds.
Well, what matters is that he
Yeah.
comes out and he accepts himself for himself, just the way I accept him.
Yeah, I think somebody said in the comments, they were like, "Oh my god, this is like a college course." I was like, "Yeah, imagining having to put it all together."
You could have just made it a
Yeah.
PowerPoint presentation.
Anyway, I think Pup, you are up next.
Okay, so Where's Arnold sends $4.99. Thanks, Where's Arnold. You yogurt male, you.
OzJamH, being generous again, thank you, with $5. See Pup's new channels, Pupflix, Hup Pup, and Disney Pup.
You know, you've actually got the color schemes on point there. That's
Yep.
goddamn.
Yep.
Oops.
Not intentional, but accepted.
Well, I guess I just got to make Pup Max next and just delete all the videos.
Next one we have is
And
from...
Danny, it's just real quick. I got Digimon World 4 as a Christmas present. Just sad.
Jesus.
Oh,
That is
man.
unfortunate. That game is not good.
No, it's not. Anyway.
Zygarde Lagan, thank you for the $5. Let's say, hypothetically, for the sake of argument, that Sega remade the storybook games, but made them off rails. I'd be down.
I think you're kind of getting that.
What you mean, made them less insufferable?
I think that's kind of what Frontiers is going for a little bit.
Yeah,
I decided I'm going to
it's-
stop talking shit about those games until I actually thoroughly play them myself, because I've not done that.
Yeah, that's so Nick, the man who hasn't finished Sonic Unleashed, you fucking pleb.
Who just got Hypersonic?
Huh?
Who just did?
Yeah.
Who just got
yeah,
Hyper-
but like,
Who just actually played through Sonic Adventure 1 for real for the first time?
Yeah, I only ever said good things about those games, though.
Yeah, so you're just a liar.
No. Shut up. Okay. Fucking finish Unleashed, you fucking pussy. Let's finish.
I
that
am
together.
You know what I'm gonna do? No.
my
First off,
God.
no.
What do you mean,
I'm not
no?
having your commentary
I
because I don't.
You wanted
don't
the
re-
commentary at first. You were like, "Oh boy, I cannot wait for the commentary," and then I did the commentary, and then
he's
Children.
like, "Weren't you good? Weren't you good at the video game?"
yeah, but why
Weren't you good
aren't you good at the video game? Okay. That's,
Oh
that's-
my god.
That's not jokes. That's just a genuine question.
See, and that's why you're not going to be playing them with me. That's why. And besides, I do it this way. I'm going to play every version of Sonic Unleashed because that's the fucking video I would make.
Yeah, I'm sure you got the time for all of that, man.
I bet I fucking do.
Yeah, fucking grow up.
You can play the mobile phone game version?
Yep. Playing
Oh,
the mobile phone
God.
game, playing all of it.
Wait, where are you even gonna get? I bet you've got an
I-
old phone somewhere in that game room, haven't you?
Oh my
Just
god,
the
yesterday we had a copy of like Dirge's Cerberus traded in, and I was checking the I was checking the manual on the inside. There was a flip phone Dirge's Cerberus spinoff. What the
Yep.
fuck?
Why
That
did
was
they?
that era, man. Yeah.
Linda, I'm going to play Dirge of Cerberus.
I want to do a video, and I don't know if my fucking audience will let me get away with it, but I want to get away with the Ninja Turtle RPGs.
Yeah.
There are full-on JRPGs based on the 2003 show, and I want to fucking discuss them. I'm gonna do that. I've decided. I'm gonna do that.
Linda,
Do it.
Yes.
just Mountain
Anyway.
Dew it. Oh, by the way, I need more Mountain Dew. I'm just fucking with you. You've done enough for me.
You know where to find it. You can go walk to the 7-Eleven.
No, I can't. Not on my own.
I cannot leave this house for another few days.
Yes, you can. Come on, stop being a baby.
I'm not gonna get anybody sick.
Yo,
This has been a
spread
very-
that COVID.
It's been a very rough week and a half.
I'm sorry, buddy.
I'll be all right. It's whatever. But we should wrap this up fairly soon because
We should. I have plans for the evening.
Then you
Alright,
should
so-
probably read the last one, Wayne.
Yep, and
This is
ahead of
on you.
time, this
Oh,
is
is this one me?
the cutoff warning as well. So the super chat cutoff. Go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got OzJam H with $1.99. Pup Flix is canceled for shutting down animation.
You know, the sad part is he's almost kind of not wrong because there is less and less animation in my videos these days.
It takes time.
It does take time, but no, I'm not going to announce that yet. No, it's not. No.
Yeah,
No.
work on your things.
Yeah.
In due time. Fucking, it's weird though, right? Like Netflix has had all of the heat taken off of it just by HBO Max doing what it's been doing.
They're both wearing shirts that say "I'm with stupid" on them.
Yeah. I mean, Netflix got a lot of shit because of how much animation they canceled, and then HBO Max was like, hold my beer.
Our expectations were low, but holy fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, has not been great. But yeah, guys, I think that should probably wrap it up for today. Thanks for hanging out with us, and thanks for getting us over the 5,000 subscriber mark on YouTube.
Oh, hell
Yeah!
You
Hell
ain't
yeah!
kidding, yeah. Uh-oh.
That's pretty cool.
Oh no,
Gentlemen.
someone heard about the 5... You screamed too loudly, Wayne. I've warned you.
Good.
Oh, God. Pup, do you want to talk about anything you're working on currently?
Nah. No, okay, no, that seems like a missed opportunity if I don't, I guess. Actually, I don't think I'm working on anything right now. But, like, on my channel...
I can give you another video if you want.
You do what now?
I could give you another video to edit if you wanted.
Yeah, alright, I'll take it. But, yeah, no, over on my channel, there just yesterday was an analysis of 7 cyberspace stages from Sonic Frontiers. So if you want to go look into that, by all means. And, on Pop Green, sorry, is the gaming one. Fuck, I don't even know my own shit.
Oh, boy.
There is the video on Sonic Triple Trouble. So, you Sonic fans want to go check that out. And while you're there, check out Klonoa as well. Because he's a scrimblow, and I love him.
There you go. Speaking of Pup, he did recently help put together my last 2 videos. So Why Hypertails Matters and the What's in a Name, all about Earth versus Mobius. Those are the freshest videos up on my site, and any views is going to be massively helpful since I've been kind of weak and terrible recently, so it's been hard to get stuff done. But that's on me. We've got one more What's in the Name coming up, and yeah, we'll probably still stay focused on Sonic for a little bit, just to because we're going into Frontiers and I need that cheddar.
Can I make a request?
Yeah.
Can you use the title card for What's in a Name that I made you for every What's in a Name episode?
I'm gonna be blunt with you, Pup. I don't really like putting a bunch of Sunset references in my channel.
Okay,
not everybody's gonna get it.
This will be a behind-the-scenes conversation then.
Yeah, but it was a really good one, so I might have to just use it forever because it's better than anything I've ever made.
Both of you, stupid assholes! I hate you.
Dude, it was fucking genius.
It was really fucking funny. I saw that and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, with the Wayne and the Watney behind.
Yeah.
It was.
Nick, I'm still waiting for Why Shade Matters. You and me both. I think I need to give up on the idea that I'm going to do like a deep, comprehensive look at the Ken Penders case because Comic Drake already did it, and I'm just be repeating what he said. Like, we all get it here and there, and I'll kind of explain it a bit during Archie when we cover it. But I think we just need to talk about Shade at this point. Be done with it. Suris, what are you up to?
Truth be told, just trying to make sure that I've got enough videos to buy myself the vacation, going to the retro game show.
Same here.
That's my biggest thing. I've got I'm not sure if many people on Sunset City will know, but I've got collaborations with Vice Rhino and Jimmy Snow that are both going to be going up soon as I have the thumbnails in for those. But aside from that, just the project that I have that Smacko's working with me on, and that's about it really on my end. Nothing real major. I don't have the wherewithal to do much more than my usual stuff at the moment.
Fair enough. And Wayne, you just got done with the big hefty beastie.
Yeah, I did. The Digimon video's done. It's finally done. It's out there. You can watch it. You should watch it. It's a big one, and I really worked myself into sickness just trying to get it finished, and so any and all, like, watching it or sharing it around anything would definitely be appreciated. I'm kind of between projects now. I'm sort of trying to figure out what I want to do next. But just this morning, I just kind of got the idea that I might be, because I know Ocarina of Time is one that I've been meaning to do for a while. People keep asking me about the Arkham games, and I think I need to finally at least do Arkham Asylum next month, just because, spooky month, and that game's a little spooky. And then, other than that, I'm also like, I really should have started talking about Shovel Knight on my channel a long-ass time ago. I think it might finally be time. So, we'll see.
All right. Well, I was saying it in the back rooms, but yeah, I gotta say goodbye anyway because I'm starting to feel blah again.
I gotcha.
Farewell, Nick.
But yeah, oh, for fuck's sake, everybody's heads are chopped off.
Yeah,
I'm alive.
for now.
Well, you better get talking while you're still alive. What are you doing, Suris? Oh wait, yeah,
Guys,
you've
thank
already.
you so much for visiting us here over at Sunset City. We hope to see you again next week. Watch the traffic or something.